Hello.
Hey everybody.
Got in first again.
I just like you've got the timing down to a science now. Like it's really good. I always wait like for the whole screen transition to go, but Jason's just like, "Yep, I'm just going to be just going to get in there."
It's because I listen back to some of the earlier streams when I'm making the VODs, and it's just this awkward like first 10 seconds.
No, I know.
Yeah. Hey, Malief, how's it going?
Hey. It should be an exciting stream today.
Yeah, we have a fairly major
Yeah,
change. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun when we get
we got
into
a fun
talking about
mode.
this. But yeah, it's gonna be wild and broken. Is
It's going to be very
my
broken, I
prediction.
feel. Well, less broken than I think maybe it was before when we first thought about this, because doubling damage is probably not, or like adding extra damage to these commanders was probably not the most ideal thing. I'm just thinking about the numbers that could happen because of that.
Although
Completely wiping characters
focus
out.
on turn one also has some implications.
Yeah, it totally does. I mean, there's probably maybe like a motivation to not even give commanders focus, but just like, you know, working around trying to protect one character is probably like, I don't know, challenge enough. But
Yeah, I feel like we'd rather just make it pretty wild and interesting.
yeah,
And then
yeah, we'll make
pull
it
it back if
wild
we have to.
first. Yeah, exactly. We'll peel back the wildness as we go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what have you been up to the last couple of weeks? I see the pile of boxes and bubble wrap
it
is still behind you.
we've still got like 6 weeks of this bubble wrap behind me. 6 weeks of bubble wrap and other things and stuff like that, and then we'll eventually move. I know for a
Oh,
fact.
Malief, please share some of your artwork.
Oh yeah, let's see that art. Yeah, as a moderator, you have the ability to share that art. So, but yeah, we know for a fact that the sellers have a place to live now. They got a place. They're in a contract, so that's a very good thing. So, everyone will be happy.
Sorry, I'm just finding Malief's Twitter right now. Check this stuff out.
Yeah. But no, yeah, things have been pretty good.
Did you ever get into drawing, Andrew? Did you ever try to learn?
Okay, so there's a funny story about me with drawing. I tried really hard once in like, I don't know, I was in like 5th grade or 6th grade or something like that. This was like pre-high school, definitely pre-high school, and let's just say it didn't turn out super well. We have this thing at I'm checking out my leaves right now actually.
Yeah.
We have this thing in the States. I don't know if it's as popular as it was anymore, but like in like the 90s and like early 2000s, we had this thing that was called like a book fair, basically, which it's like, man, I don't know. Like there's a company called Scholastic. I think they did these. I don't know if Scholastic did it or something else, but basically it's just like, hey, we're going to come to your school and we're going to give your like students the opportunity to buy random stuff.
I think
Mostly
we had the
books.
exact same thing, and I think it was Scholastic as well. They came around with like these kind of cabinets, these like kind of like like a roadie box. I don't know what you'd call them. Like, and they kind of opened up, and they were like little portable bookstore thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was like mostly books, but they did always have like some like random crap that all the kids wanted to buy instead. Like, I don't know, like cool pencils and like fun erasers, and very occasionally they would have like educational computer games. Big air quotes on educational there. But yeah, so I decided that I was going to learn how to draw because I was always super bad at anything that had to do with like visual arts, like super bad at it. Like when I was in kindergarten, I had homework in kindergarten because I was so bad at using scissors to cut shapes. I was so bad that they made me go home with like this huge ream of construction paper and cut shapes over and over and over again because my like for some reason like my hand-eye coordination was so bad. it was painful. But yeah, I when I was at that book fair, I bought like this thing, because I was like super big into fantasy, and it was like how to draw like dragons or something like that. It was like, so I ended up drawing like a butt ton of like dragons and goblets, because the like goblets were supposed to teach you about like light sources and stuff like that.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, people do like start with still life or whatever.
Yeah, it was like how, and like goblets were cool because they were like fantasy-ish, I guess, but I was so bad. It was not it was not great. It was not great. That like began and ended my exploration into drawing and stuff. I'm just terrible. So, and I'm fine with that. Visual arts or like that kind of stuff, like actual illustration, is clearly not my thing.
Which is why this is why you put you to work making UI.
Hey, I don't have to
layouts for
actually
us.
draw anything unique. I could just like put things together in a relatively like sensible and pleasing way.
I'll checking out my leaves pieces. I quite like the Kess and Headlock. I definitely get the like tone or like vibe from their facial expressions. The kind of manic grin of Headlock is pretty cool.
There you go.
And then Kess has just got that, yeah, that like tired, uncertain. I don't know. There's something human about the facial expression somehow there.
I feel like these could be made into very good emote.
Yeah, right. Like they capture that thing in like in the face somehow.
Emotional content.
It makes a good emote. Yeah.
But what about you, Jason? You have ever tried drawing or anything?
I would doodle like, I guess like geometrical stuff. Like tiny little detailed lines or like little trees and branching. Things like that. That's my go-to like doodling. Rather than like pictures, it would be
Gotcha.
some kind of geometrical thing.
Yeah.
I did at one point yeah, follow some tutorials and kind of try to learn to draw like figures and stuff, but yeah, never went too far. You know, I did that for like a few weeks and then kind of gave up. I feel like it's the kind of, yeah, obviously there's a degree of like natural talent to it, but I think you can learn it if you
totally
really put in the effort.
Yeah, you just have to
I
have
sense
some
that
kind of goal.
I could have learned, but I don't know. I feel like I can't draw a line that's like aesthetically pleasing, right? Like I see one of our artists like sketching and they'll draw a line and it's like, that line's good, like, you know, just the way it curves or like the weight of it and stuff.
Sure.
But I feel like I've never drawn a single like satisfying line, right? I just can't I just can't do it.
That's kind of great, actually.
I also kind of messed around with like calligraphy a little bit.
Okay.
Like some like Japanese stuff with like a brush is kind of, I just found that kind of fun. But that's because you're doing like very specific motions and you can like learn and get muscle memory for those things, right? It's not quite the same as being able to draw anything you want.
Yeah,
and at some point, I think my parents got me a book of like more like Gothic calligraphy, like you'd see in like some manuscript or something, the big illustrated, crazy Gothic stuff, which is kind of cool. But again, it's because it's like sort of systematic or something you can learn specifically. Yeah, anything like organic is kind of hard for me to do.
Yeah, just you talking about the geometric shapes and stuff like that. Like, I wish I had one of my notebooks near me because I like do like repeated like geometric kind of stuff and like and other things, like definitely like very specific like swirly kind of things. Like I've done the same thing for like probably 20 years. So like now like it all makes sense to me, and this is like a very normal like style of doodling. But like if you just look at one of my note pages from like me like having to like fiddle like during a meeting or something like that, it looks absolutely insane, like some crazy person. Like because it's like I don't know if I have a notebook near me, but yeah, it's quite a thing. Like it just reminds me of like some shapes and like I don't know, like an SCP kind of thing, just like like spirals and and triangles and geometric shapes, like all like contorting into each other and stuff. But like I guess it's like I can do that really well, but that's because that's all like muscle memory kind of stuff. Like I've done it for over and over and over again. But you know, ask me to do anything purposefully, and that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, kind of the same. From doodling in school or like on the exam papers and stuff, it would always be like things like that, or even just like shading or like cross hatching and things of that nature.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, we should probably go over what commander mode is now.
Let's do it.
Pretty simple, but it radically changes the dynamic of the game a little bit. So basically, we were looking into basically, I guess you could call it alternate game modes, and with that were basically within the confines of the mechanics that we already have. And we were thinking about, oh, what if we made like one of the characters like super powerful or something, kind of like how you would in like a boss battle, where there's one character where it's like your objective is to take out that character, and the secondary targets, they don't matter, and like the game just ends after you defeat that character. Well, that's basically this mode, but it is symmetrical. So essentially, commander mode is you choose one of your 3 characters that you bring into the battle is your commander, and that character has 50% extra health and also starts with focus. So if that character gets knocked out, the game is over. So basically what you have to do is figure out how you want to prioritize your opponent's like characters, whether you want to like just really try to burn down that one character, or you know, if that character like relies on other characters to actually be effective, then you take out like the secondary characters. But basically, like at first glance, this would extend kind of the pace of the match sometimes, because some of the characters that you would choose to be this commander are kind of like tanky or whatever, and if you give them 50% extra health, well, it takes a little while. But starting them out with focus really starts out combat with a bang, and like really opens up a lot of doors. I remember way back we were thinking about like the overall pace of a match and what we wanted that to look like, and we're like, oh, what happens if everyone just starts with focus? And while that made things really exciting, like from the get-go, it slowly like fizzled out into kind of like a Rock'em Sock'em Robots kind of thing, where you would start out with really cool moves, and then you would go back down into, you know, just basic moves, because you're usually just trying to clean up after the mess.
Yeah, it was always much more interesting to try and figure out strats to like accelerate getting one or more characters focused early on.
Yeah.
As a strategy you could kind of push for, as opposed to just giving it to you.
Yeah, like how do I like bank up this like potential damage output, and still allow the character to survive in that amount of time and also execute on the plan, basically. Because if everyone started with focus, there was no, it was kind of just like a solved equation at that point, which it's way less complex, because you can just do exactly what you want to do pretty quickly, within the confines of relative character speeds. So, you know, if you're gonna pick like all fast characters, it would be super easy to do your big combo, basically, because you didn't have to worry about what your opponent is doing at all. So only having one character with focus like allows you to maybe execute on some stuff a little bit quicker, and you don't have to worry about that like core character surviving, because they have that 50% extra health. They're gonna at least survive one round, and they already have focus. So if you want to try to do something really cool, then yeah, go ahead. Like this is kind of the opportunity to do that. But you know, your opponent's the commander has 50% more health, so you're probably gonna have to do more than one combo, I'm assuming.
I definitely think the most interesting thing is going to be who people pick to be the commander, and what the opening formations look like to try and account for. Yeah, because the first turn is just not going to be by the book. right? Compared to what we're used to.
Yes.
It's going to be new stuff, so how people prepare themselves for that is going to be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's like, and if people are wondering, the kind of inspiration for this was, I know in Magic the Gathering there's a commander mode, very accurately named there, and it has to do with, and it's been a while since I've gone into the details of that, but basically like your whole like deck kind of like revolves around like this one like special character basically. And I'm like, oh, okay, what if we like focus that down? What if we tried to like do something relatively similar here and like made one character very important, and then had everyone else kind of just like basically.
Yeah. Oh, hey Warwicks, thanks for joining us. Help us break this probably already broken mode.
See, Maliv has a very particular opinion on who the most broken character is. Now, I want to take bets on what the most broken character is right now. And then after we're done with this, we can see who actually is the most broken character. Because you both wanted to try Warrior, didn't you? I don't think the Warrior is the most broken character. I don't know. I'm thinking it's gonna be either like Shio or Chemist. Especially if you can start with Focus. Because like I think Shio is a little bit broken because they have so much armor, and then adding a lot more health to them, their health goes a lot farther. Their health is more healthy than other characters just because of purely their stats. And like that character is going to take forever to grind down, I feel. And if you don't target them first, then they can heal their allies. Like I feel like that character composition is going to be super, like they're going to be able to stay in for a very long time. And like Chemist could be interesting because their main issue is just getting melted so early and not being able to use that character as much. So if you can get like a couple more rounds out of them, already start out with a flame flask, or be able to react very quickly to your opponent's offensive capabilities, by like already using their heal focus ability, then like it's pretty good. It is more reactive than other stuff, but my money is still on Shio, I think. Like Berserker is like okay, I think. Like Berserker with more health means that they can do more damage over more time, but I feel like the Berserker is a lot easier to control because they're so slow. And it's if they get pinned, it doesn't really help for them. Like they are able to take a lot more damage a lot quicker. Like I feel like the Berserker is a lot easier to be countered, especially since we're not buffing the damage output per se.
Yeah, I mean the Berserker has some really good like early focusing damage things you can do, but given that the person you really want to take out has got 50% extra health, it's not really gonna put them in the kill zone.
Yeah, it's interesting. And like who else? Like Engineer, I think if the Engineer is more of a utility style character. So like I guess unless you're like working around that character being like the crux of a combo that you wanted to do over and over and over again, that would be cool. But their main issue is that their focus ability is maybe not as strong as some other characters' focus abilities, I feel. Like they can deal damage, but there's a positional requirement to it. And that's fine, but it's not something like super exploitable.
Maliv has a great question, by the way, and the answer is no, they don't get that buff. They're actually the reason. Maybe they should. So the reason is because the first version of Commander actually already gave them an outright damage boost. We changed that to focus.
Yep.
But I actually haven't changed that rule that prevents them from getting last one standing. So that was kind of an oversight, to be honest. But I guess I don't know. Do you think that makes sense, or should we put that back?
I don't know. I think we'll find out today.
Yeah. No, good to know though. Yeah, they won't get it. Other characters will, even in Commander mode.
Yeah, they'll be like crazy. And that's another reason why Ranger will not be as I feel like as more powerful. Like Ranger will definitely be very annoying. Like a Ranger with really high health that, you know, plus the dodge that like makes them a character that you really don't feel like targeting. But the thing is, if that's your most buff character, then it's just a matter of just using focus abilities on them over and over again to deal damage.
Yeah. I'm also in the Shio camp because their focus move is also super powerful.
Yeah.
If your opponents line up, and with you could combo that with someone else like the engineer, which is going to pretty much punish them really early, no matter how they arrange themselves, and you're going to get some early damage. Yeah, and as you say, a long-lived Shio is also probably quite powerful.
I'm thinking of something like Shio engineer chemist or Shio engineer
warrior.
Bolt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bolt because just like being able to manipulate character positions and getting them all in a line and stuff like that can that could that can do a lot, especially with the Shio that already has focus.
Yeah.
But,
well,
yeah, I think we should get into it then.
Yeah, let's try it out. Medieval
All
Oryx, do you wanna take a shot?
Heck yeah. But yeah, this stuff is really interesting, and it also opens the doors for us for some of the single player stuff that we've been working on to take things up and
yeah, that's kind of another
win
behind the scenes reason is we're trying to figure out how to add variation to single player, and this is one potential approach for that.
Yeah, it's interesting trying to think of like different game modes that are in different like tactical style games, and then like seeing how to like make an analog for that within our rule set.
Mm-hmm. I suppose another kind of obvious one is some kind of like King of the Hill area.
Yes, exactly.
Control mechanic.
Yep, that's a whole other thing that I was thinking about. That could be interesting. You just got to make sure that it's like reasonable to be able to like lock a character into a certain place and stuff like that. There's also like the obvious thing, which is like protecting like an NPC character, which could be themed as a King of the Hill thing, where you have to stay in a certain tile in order to quote protect them, otherwise that they are like targetable by the enemy or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. There's also like just like really basic stuff like survive X rounds and and things of that nature. Like there's really obvious stuff that we can do to shake things up, but obviously we want to come up with things that are only possible in our game mode or in our type of combat. So
yeah,
all right, I'm gonna switch on over to that.
Let's go.
Because that's the kind of thing. Like, it's cool to like try to like take other things and
so the way commander pick works, I'm sure you figured this out, is the first character on your team is the commander in the whoever's in the first slot. So
yeah, so in case you're curious. But yeah, so yeah, we're always interested in different modes like that. And we probably won't be able to implement this stuff for a while, but it's definitely a thing where it's good to have a lot of ideas. And we had the first game freeze today.
Oh,
woo! And so it begins.
Okay, you're gonna have to vamp for a few minutes, Andrew.
All right, that's fine. Maliv, did your client crash too? I'm curious about this, or is it just chilling there? Ooh, where did it crash? Hi, I'm IT for the day. While the actual IT actually solves the problem. I'm just curious about the details now. That's interesting. Yeah, just as the game started, huh? Okay. Oh, so you got into the actual battle, huh? All right. Well, that's interesting. I'm curious as to why that is. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost certainly my bad. Let me see if I
That's
can
fine.
sort
It's
this out.
probably some small thing, to be honest. Ooh, thank you for the crash log, by the way. That is super helpful. Backtrace. Null pointer.
Yeah, that's
I
on
know
me.
some of these words. I know some of these words. Oh man. We for the record, we did test this. This was tested, but things happen. Things always happen. And thank you for being along for the ride for these.
Okay, so it was in the map. Sorry, in the character selection screen. Is that right?
Yeah. Did it happen during the character select, or did it happen after you've selected the characters and after you've locked in your positions and then you were about to like start the actual battle? Oh, for you didn't even select characters yet, right? I just want to be absolutely. Oh, wait, for the battle. Oh, you only chose settings. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you didn't waste too much time choosing your characters and putting them in the perfect spot then. Yeah, no problem. We'll figure this out. What other games have people been playing? I have. What have I been doing? I haven't played that much games this week, actually. Partner started playing. It's been a while. Like I played it around when it came out, but my partner started playing Outer Worlds. So
Oh,
she's
I've
going
heard
through
great things
that.
about how
It's
that's all put together and how the
it's so
story and
tight.
stuff is framed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything just works really well. And Outer Worlds is just so polished, I feel. Like, if anything, like if there were any like negative things you could probably say about that game is the kind of like RPG elements are a little bit, maybe like a tiny bit shallower than I would want. And some of like the crafting is like pretty basic and mods and stuff like that. And it is like relatively short, but I think just like the way that the story comes together and this like quality of the game is just very high, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard lots of non-specific praise that, like there's something hard to describe about that it does really well. I haven't really been able to get. I should just play it, to be honest, but
Yeah, I think the story's good. Like that's my like the specific thing. Like my specific praise is like, yeah, I like the story. I think it was
yeah.
fun and the characters were cool. So
Like I kind of heard that like it doesn't tell you what to do, or it doesn't guide you in a way, or it allows you to discover things in a kind of more organic fashion in terms of what the premise is or what your objective is. Is that fair to say?
there's a lot of instances where you can just go explore and you'll find things and resolve them on your own, or get item like quote quest items or whatever. Like you'll do things
Yeah.
by yourself if you want to, and then you'll come back and talk to people and be like, oh, you want this, or like, oh, like I resolved this issue. Like there's a lot of things that you can go do by yourself if you want to do that kind of exploration. I wouldn't say that there's like a billion things to do in the game, so it's not like that kind of like Fallout type thing where you can just like wander around and have a lot of like little cute clever encounters
Yeah.
that are not directly tied to the story, because like say just about everything here is tied to like some major player in the universe, basically. Like there's very few things that are like, I like to call them like little vignettes and stuff like that. Like there are some of those, but the game is very much tied to a central storyline. But I think what some people like about it is that they actually liked the storyline, and sometimes in some of the Fallout games, like in like almost like a lot of Bethesda games and stuff like that, is that the main storyline is not the most entertaining thing, like not the most drawing thing, like it doesn't really...
it's the factions and the stuff like that, right? The little quirky, obscure stuff that's going on.
Yeah, of course. Like it's because also the thing is, like, with the factions and things like that, is like you can go interact with the things that you want to interact with. Like if you like a certain faction, you can do that, as opposed to in like the main storyline, it's just like, well, I can't skip this section of the storyline that I don't like to go to a section of the storyline that I do like. You have to do it all, and you have to go in a certain order and stuff. So it's like you can like do some things out of order, I guess, in Outer Worlds, but it's very much like, okay, I've done everything on this planet. Now I can get to this planet. There's very few like branching kind of paths there. It's a very kind of like, okay, like you're in like Act 1 basically, so you're going to do most of the stuff on this planet, and in Act 2 it mostly revolves around this planet. So, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I would say like the combat still suffers the same thing as in any Fallout game, which is like it's pretty basic, like shoot the people. There's like a time dilation mode, so it's kind of like your VATS kind of thing. But it's basically just like make sure you hit the people that you're aiming at, and like make sure you engage at a range that your character is built for, basically, and that's about it. So
yep. Okay, the bug should be squashed.
Bugs should be squashed. So I don't know if Malieve got her food, but hopefully this will work. If they need to restart the game, are they going to need to create a new game?
No.
Okay.
They should be able to jump straight back in.
Okay.
Just an issue with the asset for the attack collectible not being file was named incorrectly.
I mean, that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still probably like character names that are very old that will never be changed in the back end because
the project name is still Pixel Raiders. Probably forever will be.
Oh, it's so great. It'll always be called that because, man, I mean, you could always like try to like do a nice like Control F replace kind of like thing, but that stuff can go wrong.
Yes. Yes, it can.
Really wrong. Ah, man, what's the name of that guy? He's like a YouTuber. I'm trying to think of his name. Oh goodness, I'm not gonna be able to remember his name though. The thing that I like remember is like he like sent like garlic bread into space or something like that. He does like these really short like YouTube videos usually that are like 4 or 5 minutes long that explain.
Was that Tom Scott?
Tom Scott, yeah. So yeah, I like how it's like the one thing, and then you got it immediately. Yeah, Tom Scott.
I mean, there's not that many people who've sent garlic bread into space, Andrew.
Yeah, I know.
That I know of personally.
But yeah, he had a whole thing about his like most embarrassing like coding error screw up that he did, and it involved a quote simple find and replace text thing that screwed everything up because he did it on the main database and renamed a whole bunch of stuff, and it was not good.
Yeah, that can be an absolute nightmare. Just better safe than sorry. Just don't even attempt it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm just like, oh man, I will never do that. I'm gonna try not to, at least. I'm always paranoid about that.
Yeah, Tom Scott's pretty great. Like all the computer file stuff he does is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
and then all of his various, what is it, interesting places or just
Yeah, he just
more
gets like
interesting things.
interesting things that you don't really think about. Like I remember one of the things that he did was like, how do you get out of like one of those like electric windmills? Like if it catches on fire, like how do you get out of there
Mm.
and stuff? So he just like they had a like an automatic like rappel thing that you can do from the very top that you get all strapped in with like a bunch of like safety carabiners stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it like automatically slowly layers like as you go down, like you don't even have to be conscious.
Oh, it's like an
um,
auto belay
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
It went very slowly, excruciatingly slowly, but it's like if you have someone who like passed out up there and you need to get them out, like what do?
Yeah. Oh, Warwick's, that will work. It will kind of pick it up
Yep,
as everyone's entering their initial stances. So
that was
you will
my
get that bonus.
that was my mess up last week.
Unlike the flame trigger, which won't trigger if you start on it, you
Yep.
will pick up the bonus.
Yeah, Jason very much clinched the win 2 weeks ago from me not remembering that it just immediately picks it up. Jason, you're gonna have to fight Warwick this week. Can't be
I'll give it a
undefeated.
go.
You can't remain undefeated.
Did you see the Tom Scott video where he gets an AI to write the script for a video for him?
No, I didn't actually. I haven't seen too much of Tom Scott. It's one of those like people that pop up a lot, but
Mm.
I think the video that got me into him was oh man, it had to do with like sponsorship disclaimers, I believe, like on YouTube, and why like nowhere else really needs to do that.
Product placement and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though like the argument was like it's not that YouTube should remove that, it's that everywhere else should add it, pretty much, because it's kind of insidious sometimes. So it's like everything is sponsored by everything. So
Yeah, like some movies. I remember watching iRobot, the Will Smith movie.
Yeah, it's
and
everywhere,
it's
isn't it?
so blatant. Like he walks into a bar wearing Converse and is like, someone just compliments him on his Chuck Taylors, and
Oh really?
it's like,
Oh
oh
my
yeah.
gosh, that's ridiculous. I was watching The Matrix actually, and there's even like stuff there with like the style of phones and stuff like that. There's like some very specific things. I think the worst is like old MTV, like when they first started doing like reality TV shows and stuff like that. My partner's like watching some really old ones because they're just so ridiculous, and like everything is sponsored by everything. Like everything is, because they need to make money somehow with those shows, and it was just like, are you freaking kidding me? Let us know when y'all have gotten into the game, because I'm still at the still hanging on the flash screen. Oh, you started? Okay, I think I need to like restart Steamhounds then, or
I think they have a new link.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I was just been sitting here vamping, not doing anything. So
Yeah, I think Malieve dropped one in. If you haven't restarted Andrew since the start, you will need to do that.
Oh, well,
or it's gonna crash like that. There we go.
Hey, we all got there. Bear with me, please, while I fix this real quickly. Basically, just making sure everything is out of here. Do. Go Steamhounds button. All right, we're gonna get there. I promise. I think I also just cut off Jason, so bear with me. I think I accidentally shut down Discord.
Are you back?
Yes, we are back. Sorry, I accidentally, when I was like looking for the correct thing to force shutdown, I accidentally force shut down Discord. So I'm like, Jason's been real quiet recently. I wonder what happened. And it's like, oh, I just completely just like cut him out.
I love the professionality on show in this stream. This is peak performance.
Oh man. Well, at least I'm not like showing my password as I'm typing it in to log into Steamhounds. Oh, something's interesting. Telling me that I have the wrong password. I think I'm. We're gonna redo this real quick. Today has been incredible. I hope the battle's going well, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope you're all practicing for the final show. We get to see what you're really made of here. Oh, I hope this works. I hope this works. All right, we're gonna try again. All right, I had to look at my keyboard this time when I did this.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna do some like rapid fire spectator mode here. I think I'm actually just gonna let it play because otherwise I cannot keep up with this, I think.
Pretty nice totem placement.
Especially since there is range damage on Warwick's side.
Interesting. Chose to use rousing speech there. This is very interesting. So they've both been quite conservative rather than jumping straight in with their commanders on turn one. They both chose a bit of a delayed buffing approach.
Well, I think the deal is if you're not using Shio to defend at any point, and you don't have any stacks of fatigue, then you're like, you've got like wasted potential for like, because you could always be recovering fatigue. That is if you're not defending anybody. I think that's kind of the thing. Like, that's a difficult thing to balance with Shio, which is like, okay, like you need some stacks because that means you've been using good moves, but
yeah,
you don't have, yeah. Looks like the strategy that both players are utilizing here is taking out like key support characters, as opposed to trying to like knock out like the main kind of commander here, because that's just gonna take way too long. I feel by that time, I'm not sure if you have enough characters to actually act on finishing the job.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it seems appealing to like do some heavy damage early, but if it's not taking anyone out, then maybe that's a trap.
Yeah. I think like a lot of it relies on like how good your team is on picking apart the defensive capabilities of the other team to be able to target that singular command. Like there's a lot of manipulation on Warwick's side, regarding, you know, being able to pull someone around, push someone. Also being able to like heavily disincentivize certain positional placements with Totem. This is also interesting because right now, unless Maliv's gonna move Which Malieve will probably move that warrior, assuming. But if Malieve does not move that warrior, she's going to take a lot of damage from the engineers. Stay right there.
Okay. Some slam again. I like that.
Good stuff.
It's pretty even footing still.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to come down to basically takes out one of the supporting characters first, and if the other player can keep that supporting character in for another round or two to get some more utility out of.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Millie doesn't really have a way to do that so quickly, whereas Warwick's has the potential now of maybe taking the warrior out before they can let off a cash in that focus.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Basically, that warrior has to survive the engineer and totem. If the warrior survives the engineer and totem, then there's a lot of potential for healing up that warrior again.
Yep.
And that's definitely a good start. A bold getting that attack bonus on a low health character.
Yeah, I mean, probably factoring in who can target a flying character. Maybe that's not too risky after all.
No, that's pretty true. I mean, the thing is, all it's going to take is a flame flask from Chemist, so.
It's true. Then the chemist presumably wants to speed up the warrior here.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know if that warrior's going to survive.
Steam, yeah.
It's very
with
close.
a healing vapor and a adrenaline boost, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, it's whatever is going to happen here is going to be really tight. I mean, technically, Malieve can do heal from both of those both of those other characters right now to keep the warrior healthy. 10 health from Shio, and there's 7 health immediately from the chemist if they want to use the healing focus ability. So.
Then again, the warrior's probably not super useful right now given Roxy's formation. I mean, jumping in for a melee attack's not going to be too useful, whereas Shio's got their row targeting focus.
Yeah, that's also
Chemist's
true.
got the range attacks. Maybe the warrior's not worth so much right now.
This is true. Can still keep them hopefully in there so that they can. It's gonna necessitate probably someone else attacking them. So that counts for something.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to be interesting for Shio here because I'm not exactly sure what the most effective of their turn is. I'm assuming it's got to be the heal, right? Because it's going to probably well, maybe not then, because Oryx's warrior does have that focus ability. Oof. That is something. That is a decent amount of damage on that warrior, considering that Oryx does not have much in terms of recovery, or when I say much, I mean anything. So damage done to the warrior is damage done, well, forever. So
yeah.
I think I know where this is going, but you can never be too sure. There it is. All right. mean, the way I see it, if Maliv just goes all out here, maybe that's enough to be able to take down that warrior in time. But otherwise, I don't know what else they would want to do. I mean, probably take out the engineer. That's always a decent strategy here.
Yeah.
But I will say time is running out. So if they're able to survive 2 rounds from Totem, then that would be great. But not sure what Warx wants to do with Totem right now. There's always something like a system overload opportunity here, or just using pressure release twice could do something. That will actually be even more effective. Take a little bit of risk there to push it back, but definitely securing that kill probably with the warrior.
Yeah, that worked out, I think.
Basically how much you want to gamble there, because Warx had 2 opportunities to get in there to push it back, but that was enough. All right.
GG.
Take a look at these stats real quick. Pretty even damage spread here. But yeah, taking out that warrior relatively early kind of messed some things up. I could definitely see some interesting things going on between fully supporting Shio to do a lot of focus abilities between the warrior, inspiring, and the chemist, using their ability to instantly have them take their turn. That could have been really interesting, but didn't quite stay in the game long enough to.
Yeah. Okay, should we line up another battle? Will I bite the bullet and just challenge challenge Warx?
Go for it.
Okay, let's go. Roxy, do you want to try Warrior again, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, now's the time to try everything out and see what's still broken.
Tell you what, let's just pick what we feel like. If we choose the same, that's no problem.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, one thing that I didn't even think about was how Bolt would work as commander. Because like the idea is like the longer that Bolt is in the fight, the more effective they are. So wonder if that's enough to make them an interesting commander, but I don't know. Admittedly, Bolt wouldn't be my first choice, but
no, I mean, with Bolt, it's always harder to figure out. You know, their utility is less obvious because they have the whole shock thing and a lot of delayed stuff. They're just generally harder to sort of evaluate. But they have proved pretty successful, definitely in some of the more recent streams we've done.
Definitely. Yeah, Shio definitely relies on having other characters around to be most effective, so like I'm curious how like just like a super heavy team with Shio not being commander would do. Like having a lot of characters with a lot of sustain. Don't know. Maybe with Bolt as commander? I don't think so though. That would be interesting. But I wonder if there's a situation for like MS being a commander and having like being flanked by like 2 really characters. Could work, could not work, who knows? We just have to figure it out.
We will see, yeah. I'm gonna try something kind of weird.
I mean, this is the time to do weird.
Like I have theories, you know. I mean, that first match did not play out how I kind of expected it would. I expected some Alpha Strike stuff, so.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just curious if an Alpha Strike could actually work.
Yeah, I mean, no one's figured this mode out yet, right? It would
No,
still...
especially not us. No, I think it's interesting though. Definitely tosses up a lot of things in terms of strategy and prioritization, I think, is what it changes mostly. Oh yeah, I've been using I've been using the opportunity for when we're in battle and I'm off camera to chow down on some emergency lunch. So I feel you there. Definitely known to get hangry.
Hey, we're in, Andrew.
Excellent. Let's.
Or Warwick's is looking in the formation, rather.
That's fine.
Cool.
All right, here we go. All right, we get to see the Berserker here. One of which is the commander, so this should be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Oh, those health points, nearly 100.
Yeah, that's a lot of health points. Also, being behind cover and having impose be the stance on the Berserker, it's not a great time to have to try to pick apart those defenses, I'll say. That's a little bit brutal. And we're already pushed back in the turn order. Alright, we're just going for it. Oh, that's a little rough on that Berserker health, though. Looks like Jason is going for an Alpha Strike kind of thing, just going as hard as he possibly can into the enemy commander. We'll see how that pans out. Especially since that Berserker is looking a little worse for wear now. This is pretty interesting because right now it looks like you have to do one of two things to really get some damage to stick on the Ranger. Either you have to have like a lot of different attacks hitting the Ranger over and over again because of like that 35% chance to dodge, like just like that, or you need to start using focus abilities like exclusively. So
yeah,
using focus abilities exclusively definitely slows you down. It'll just take more time to knock out that Ranger just from that, not to mention additional health. But I mean, it depends on the team. Like Warwick's team does have some damaging focus abilities. Like the Berserker does deal a decent amount of health with that focus ability, but it's mostly the bleed damage that pushes it over the edge. But the Warriors having shove does help out on that regard as well. Jason really You're really trying to extract as much juice out of the Berserker as possible before it gets knocked out on Vorx's turns. Thankfully, the rest of your characters are mostly ranged focused, so...
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate that the engineer is not focused up right now and will not have any defenses. But, I mean, it does count for a lot that there are basically no ranged characters on Warwick's side, so... We're going to see a timeout from the... Oh, nope. Just in time. Ooh, that's a big, deep cut. Trying to do some damage there. Question is whether or not Berserker is going to move at this point. Nope, no move. Just stay. All right, what's it going to be? Gotta get as much as you can out of there. Berserker is down. Berserker is down, but you are in the lead in terms of getting that commander down, so.
Yeah, my thinking basically is that Ranger might actually be kind of survivable, given their evasiveness and so on.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna have to figure out what you want to do. I mean, having being deep cut really messes up your strategy here with the bleed and your speed being decreased. That's gonna... I think you're gonna take on a little bit more damage than you want to right now. Oof. Probably a smart move there. Some extra damage. Getting some health back. Removing deep cut. Well, still bleeding now, unfortunately, but...
Oh, right. Yeah, I always forget about bleed.
Oof. Need that 35%. All right, trading a little bit there. Ooh, getting a little saucy there. In the Berserker into the danger zone, but still just going for it. I think you're gonna have to go for it at this point. Oh, that hurts so much. Oh, man. Yeah, the health totals there are just not enough, I think. Ooh, good dodge, though. Gonna take a little bit of damage here, but gonna be enough to survive one more round. There's a little less quick shot damage than I thought was going to happen there. But that's what half cover will do.
Yeah, GG. I think that could have worked, you know?
Yeah. You're close.
Like I was thinking, you know, so I was thinking if I can be evasive, and then since I'm focused, I'll be able to use field kit if I do get hit, and then boost my damage output, and then if I can just purely focus on their commander, then maybe that's enough.
I mean, 17 health is pretty close.
Yeah,
I
that
think
impose really wrecked me.
Yeah, the impose really did. Also, I think if this map did not have that half cover, I think things would be slightly different too, as well. So
yeah, I think I could maybe have slightly improved by moving my berserker up top and dragging Oryx's berserker a little bit early on to maybe have got another tunnel vision in there, but yeah, wasn't quite enough. Yeah, I think against another team that might have worked, but the damage output was just too
yeah,
too good.
All right, so
Interesting.
All right, so we have seen Geo as commander, Warrior as commander, Berserker as commander. Who have we not seen so far? I think it's Bolt and Chemist, I believe.
Yeah.
What's we missing? Oh, Engineer hasn't been commander either. Who in the chat would like to? I will throw my hat into the ring. I need to do some non-standard commanders, maybe.
Yep.
Or maybe not immediately obvious commander option.
Interesting.
I'm gonna see. Let's see what we can do here. I'm always interested in like the squishier characters being the commander, just to see if like that little extra oomph kind of can push it over the edge.
Yeah.
That link is still open, so if someone would like to get in there, battle, I am all for it. All right, Warwicks. Time to kick my ass, I guess. All right. All right, time for commander mode. All right, I will show my hand for the sake of the stream. So Jason and I can strategize on what we want to do here.
Yep. So
first things first. What's this battlefield like?
Victory.
All right. So we've got more damage output, and then we've got some flame triggers, which are going diagonally, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
So doing that.
I mean, that always makes me think engineer's a good pick for the team. Not necessarily for commander, but they're just too squishy. I feel like they may be too squishy to ever be a commander. Although against a certain team, you know, levitation. It's interesting that you have to pick your commander at the same time as the team, right? If you could see your opponent's team and then pick your commander, maybe that would be an interesting wrinkle to this. Because
yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, if they didn't have much range attack, then maybe the engineer would make sense.
Jason, can I remove their commander status effect with short circuit?
Oh. God.
I don't think it actually gives anything when they're in the game, right? It doesn't do anything. It's just a label. It's less of a status effect. Because they're gonna keep their health.
No.
Oh, really?
Well, it depends. It would if you did it on turn 1, then it would probably cap their health at their new max, at the lower maximum. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting.
Like I don't think it lets them like, like limit break their health, right? If you get rid of it, I could check. I think the way we've done it is I think we've specifically tagged certain status effects as removable.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
In which case that wouldn't work. So let's. Yeah, it won't. It's not. Probably wise enough to realize I should have to specifically mark things as removable.
Yeah, it could be interesting. What I do here? I don't want to like. Oh, do I want to do that? I want to do something weird, kinda. The problem with Bolt is that I feel like this game mode's a little bit quicker, and they don't quite get enough damage in, I think. I mean, Shocking Strike is good, don't get me wrong, but interesting. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I think what I want to do is start with a system overload. That's okay. Starting with a short circuit. Okay. I think I do want to. Okay, I think I know.
Really makes you think, doesn't it? It's not. It's not obvious.
No, it's not. It's definitely not obvious. The thing is, like, I'm also gonna think about, like, if that's the commander, where's the commander gonna stay, basically, at all times? Because you don't want to get, like, in the line of fire too. So, I think I know what I'm doing, but I probably don't. I probably don't know exactly what I'm doing, but we're
doing something. We'll learn something at least.
We're learning. We're trying something new. We're definitely trying something new and different. Unfortunately, we've got some ranged attackers there, which kind of screws some stuff up, unfortunately. But if I can lock out that Shio a little bit, good. I think I know what I want. It might not be the smartest move, but I think I do know what I want to do. So I think I'm most worried about the Ranger right now. Just overall.
Yeah.
And I did just leave the center tile open, but I think I'm just going to have to fight through that, unfortunately. That's just how it's going to be. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to play this one as it comes, I think. I don't know what Oryx is going to do either.
I have no idea.
I mean, I kind of assumed that shake would make sense, so...
Yeah, it's the wedge is always going to work. Yeah.
I guess that's for the bonus, yeah.
Because I really don't have any, like, positional manipulation. So I can't really take advantage of this super well. I mean, I can potentially, you know, Shio, like, once now. But... it looks like Warwick's is very... very strong, like very convinced that even though Chio is using Sweeping Guard, that's going to be enough to really keep them in the game there for a while. So what I think I want to do... How long is it going to be? Stuff. I think I'm gonna do
maybe
something different.
Maybe boosting up Shio to do a piercing focus ability on
that
Shio and Totem.
Yeah, I mean, well, Shio can move right now. My immediate reaction is just to like start knocking out characters like immediately. But I think that's fine. I think that could definitely work. Now I think I am gonna start taking damage here, so healing vapor to keep them in the game I think is gonna work alright, because I don't think I can everyone. Fine with leaving them there for now. I can always do a little bit of healing here, counter out that. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. Like, it's basically going to come down to some damage breaks here. Like, if I can soften one of his characters up, or if I should just go for Shio. So, but I don't know. The thing is, like, Shio can heal, and that's sometimes a big problem. So, I'd very much be incentivized to... Oh, God. That's just so much damage. Incentivized to go after Shio as fast as possible, but it's a tough question. It's definitely tough. So now the question is, do I want to, like, I can inspire Shio to deal my own damage here. My problem is, man, it's a lot of turns before Chemist anything.
Yes.
Which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're gonna have to go for it. Now here's the other question. I want to get out of there, I think. But I can't move the chemist out of there, unfortunately. So, staying here do too much, I don't think. Really doesn't do much now, does it? I think we're going to have to... Okay, this is going to be slightly different. This is going to look weird, but I think I need to get in as much damage as I can. And Warrior's health doesn't matter that much. So I'm thinking about moving Warrior back right now. It's really not going to matter. Okay. So I'm assuming Armor Break is what's going to do it. It's going to have to be this. Alright. That feels good. That definitely feels good, but we're gonna start running into some problems soon, I think.
Yeah. I wonder if you can pump them up to do that again with a adrenaline boost and or inspire.
Yeah. A little bit of both. Well, man, it's tough. I don't know. I'm trying to look for ways for the chemist to survive, but I don't know if the chemist is gonna survive that long, unfortunately.
Yeah, sitting there taking the damage from the totem as well. It's just
yeah, it's
stacking up.
Yeah, it's stacking up way too much at this point. But I'm not sure if I was gonna be able to move out of the way in time, to be honest. No. We tried.
It's brutal.
We tried. Yeah, it wasn't enough. Ooh. Yeah, it's rough. It's I would say if Warwick's team was more melee focused, this would have gone slightly differently. But unfortunately, that was like the only my one weakness. Like,
yeah,
definitely...
they just locked you in there and ground you down with the environmental damage and the steam and the...
Yeah. The range
Totem,
damage
yeah,
definitely helped. Like, the range damage is probably one of the only weaknesses to this layout. This layout right here, like by far, because there was just so much going on here. Not to say that there wasn't enough damage being dealt by Chio, but there was definitely like pretty much unpreventable damage at this point from ranged attackers. So maybe with this layout here, which doesn't really bode well for on a reduced range damage, maybe picking the chemist as the commander wasn't perfect this time around. So, and especially since when I was using the chemist, I wasn't like, if the chemist is gone, like the chemist in this situation, when I initially started this, I wanted to try to just use flame flask like every time the chemist came up, but it wasn't gonna quite do enough damage to make a difference because of how high output damage is for this actually. So that started to become a little bit of a problem, and of course the character died without even, which basically means they were able to do one round. Yeah, they did one ability and then didn't quite make it into the second round. So a little unfortunate, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Pretty tough.
Yeah.
So, do we have time for one more? Malieve,
Yeah, I think
would
we
you
got time for
be
one more.
down to jump in for another attempt?
Sorry, who are you calling out, Jason?
Malieve.
Yeah, all right.
Back from lunch, powered up, ready to go.
Oh man. All right, whoever wants to get in there and battle Malieve, go for it. All right. All right, Malieve, it's time for me to embarrass myself again. We're getting back in there.
Back on the horse.
Yeah, let's get in there. Let's do it. Gotta remember to click the commander mode button. All right. Oh, man, these wide open battlefields. Not a super big fan. Once again. All right, what are we gonna do this time, Jason? What are we gonna do about this?
I think Totem's been doing pretty well. Like maybe not for commander, but
actually, I think we're gonna do the secret weapon. I want to see if this removes their health, Jason. I have to know.
No, it won't remove the effect, I don't think, at all.
Oh, the bummer. I wanted to see that happen. You're no longer their commander.
Stripped of your rank, yeah.
Oh, man. What did we try before but did not quite work? I wonder... Oh, if Totem is the perfect thing for that. They do get a lot of turns. They could get a system overload pretty quickly. Dare we try? It's just like, I think the characters who
the opening fireball is not bad.
It's not bad. It depends on
just their survivability depends too much on your opponent.
Well, actually, I don't think so, because if I can use levitate and have a like, well, no, it's all depends on range damage now, doesn't it? Yeah. It's basically like trying to figure out, like, of all these characters, who would you be okay with being the last one standing, essentially? Like, who can who can do stuff without relying on other characters? Even though we've seen mostly today, people just kind of like focus down, or at least attempt to focus down the command. So, I did like what you were trying to do with the ranger, though. I kind of want to see if we can make that work.
Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. Like maybe throwing the chemist in there for a bit of, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, where's like trying to figure out like, okay, where's our damage output? Where is that? Like, where are we? What are we doing? Because really, we've got some sustain here and some damage. Got a flame trigger, which is on the diagonal again.
Like I think with Rangers supporting as well, and
Yeah.
Berserker, damage output's pretty good. It's just that imposed defense is so punishing.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think
if Melee picks a Berserker, then not gonna be good. But otherwise, I think it's not too bad using Ranger with any straightforward attacker.
Sure.
Or even
yeah.
Berserker to try and get some combos going. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what we want to do, I think we want to do this, because what I want to do is make sure we get enough combos in as possible, and that includes some tunnel vision stuff. In order to get the maximum amount of tunnel visions, you need the engineer to pull people into the same row as Berserker. So, I think this could be okay. It's just, it doesn't have as much damage mitigation as, like, picking the warrior or she.
Yeah.
So, the alternative is not using engineer and instead going for a more defensively oriented character that has
like
a little...
Shio.
Yeah, I think I want to try this. I think this is what we wanted. Yeah, let's try that.
You can also throw Shio in the front row with Ranger.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because, well, okay, we've got that diagonal, so we don't want to be there. So if we kind of do like, all right, well, let's maybe look at what Malief has. Okay, so, well, we can't do anything about you, but we do have Shio as the commander, so we got to think about how that's going to work. Looks like we really did want to use some more range damage. So I think what we need to do here is use these characters as expendable characters, basically. And that basically means you want to try to protect this possible thing. Ranger goes pretty quickly, though, so I think I want to start with support, probably. To get that damage. And we're just going to get you. Well, I'm assuming that's going to be there, right? This is like the obvious thing. Like, is that the obvious thing?
Or up at the top. I mean, I
wonder if I could do this instead. Because I'm assuming that the Ranger's going to go first, right? Like an accurate statement.
I think so, yeah.
So what I can do is immediately go back into cover here. And that's a very melee-oriented thing. Okay, well, we'll try this. That means I should probably put Berserker not there, though. Actually, in this situation, it doesn't matter that the Ranger is there, so I can instead do that, maybe, for now, and then switch back there, because I'm assuming someone's going to...
Maybe put the... I was thinking maybe put the Berserker in the middle, because...
Think so?
Shio is quite likely to be front middle in Malief's formation. No, I mean, not necessarily. They might tuck into the back corner, but
I'm just thinking that like this is such a obvious thing that you want to pick up so quickly. Like I'm fine. My plan is not to immediately go for Shio. My plan is to immediately melt whoever is standing here. Like just really attempt to do that. But we could go after Shio. I think, you know what? No. Yeah, I think you're right. We're going to try. So you think Shio's going to be somewhere in here, right? Is that your idea?
That's my guess, yeah.
All right. We're going with that. So what we're going to do is attack, and then we're going to immediately jump onto here. I think everyone is getting protected and doing things. So, all right. That took a while, but we're going to get there. All right. Hey, look at that. We got there. We're going to take some damage really quickly, but all that matters is that the ranger does not take damage. That's the only thing that actually matters here. Do I care about explosive round? Not really. I think I do want to save that for a field kit, right? Or I can save it for some slightly more additional damage, I'm assuming. Right? Is that what we probably...
Yeah. I mean, field kit made sense to me for the heal after the opening salvo. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a little quick shot first. We're going to get in there, take a lot of damage, unfortunately, but that's okay. Oof, that does nothing. It does not do enough. Question is, can I get away with using a support right now? Because there's not a lot of range damage, right? So I think I could just do support. I haven't taken any damage right now, so an extra little bit of damage could help out in the long run. So
wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, let's try this. We're gonna try this. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
So that kind of negates protecting. Well, will Shio take the damage for Ranger on this focus ability?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I could just stand there and take like a butt ton of damage, but that should be fine.
Oh, sorry, for Shio, no. No,
yeah,
it won't.
okay,
For
so,
Shio's focus, no.
So there's no point in me staying where I am. So I could move out of there to not take the damage from Shio. Well, actually, standing in front of the Ranger does reduce damage slightly. So I think that's worth it by itself. Yeah, because that's at 4. I think I do need to do as much damage as I can right now. So I need to get that Berserker in there to deal something. All right, we're going. We're doing some damage. So, do I want to stay here to keep that the defense up? I think I do. I think that's kind of what we want to do here. Now, that's not going to matter, but when is that going to matter for that? But I do want to keep... All right, this is gonna hurt, but this is what we were waiting for, so.
We planned for this. It's okay.
Oh, this is different. This is different. This is not what I was expecting. All right. We do have attack bonuses, though, which will start to... Man, those will start to stack up, unfortunately. Yowza. Oh, God, no! Oh, that does so much damage because of the low elemental defense. Yikes, I was not expecting that. That was a lot. Wow. Why?
Ooh. I just saw it come through.
No.
I'm a little delayed. Wow. Wow.
That was too much. I don't like that very much. I don't like that at all. I wasn't expecting that. That was an incredible amount of damage. Can't use that yet. There's no point in doing that. Is there any point in delaying turn? No, not really. I think I just need to keep on chipping for now. Need to keep on doing it. That's fine. I don't care about that. If I stay behind there, I do get that.
47 damage, I believe.
It's too much. Too much damage. Too much. I think I do want to stay here though, but if I do that, I have to do that. So I have to... I mean, I really need to think about what I want to do here. I do get to go after that. My thought process is to move over, but unfortunately, because I don't want to stay here, because I'll keep on taking damage from this character. I'm going to do something a little bit risky, I guess. Yeah, we're going to do something a little bit risky. But I feel like I have to do something risky in order to stay in this, so... Because I don't think the warrior can quite capitalize on that too much. So... Wow, that kind of messes up some of my strategy here, not having a berserker. That was enough damage. That was enough. That's fine. I don't mind that too much. Because I don't need to use that focus ability quite yet. At some point, I'm probably going to have to switch on over to evasive stance, but not quite time for that yet. My goal is to survive to here. That would be super ideal to get those couple extra turns. Really, yeah, it's definitely to survive. I feel like I do have to do piercing wit right now instead of heal. It's a little early to heal, to go on the back foot. So we're just gonna try to get those like support damages in there. Take some damage, that's fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I was expecting Miliv to put the warrior in front of Shio and guard.
Okay, fair enough. Shio is there. The Shio goes pretty much immediately. That's fine. So I think what we want to do is go here. I think I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. This will be fine. Yep, this is kind of what I was expecting, but... Alright, my Shio is not quite that long for the world, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, that's fine. I'll take some more damage, but hey, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do about it? Pretty much nothing. Yeah, not much else I can do at this point.
Yeah, you're still off balance, unfortunately. That was well placed, I think. The field kill would be nice right about now.
Oh, definitely. So what I think I'm going to have to do is... I think I have to go back to evasive, right? Because... Well, no, it depends on the turn order. So if that happens... Man, I could get pulled back through, unfortunately. So I feel like I have to...
I think evasive with... I was going to say...
I have to be in the front.
Boost, but maybe not.
I think I have to go support, though. Because I'll be protected here, I'm assuming. So, and that's not going to be moved.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, the warrior can't do much to you.
Yeah. I'm not afraid. I say, and then get completely clobbered. Basically, what I have to do is survive warrior attack, Shio attack, and engineer attack, and then I get 2 rounds. But I do have to survive those. So, and that's not always a thing, so I think I do need to heal now. Because this is gonna hurt a lot. There is attack bonus here. So, I think I need to try to struggle my way through this. Basically. I think we're gonna have to move up there so that when the ranger goes next. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that, I think.
Yeah, some maneuvering there. That makes sense.
This is rough, though. It's just so much damage that's potentially incoming. I just have to survive this, and then... I'm not saying that that's the end, because it's definitely not. But I do need to survive this. Okay. What happened to my last one standing bonus? All right, what are we doing here? 25 to 26 sounds good, but I don't get to do field kit. But if I hop on there, I'll be up to 36, and then we'll shift on over to that. Oh, this is difficult. Frontmost character in their row. I think that's enough to not use that, so... Okay.
Maybe just quick shot twice and take the health pickup.
Maybe?
Quick shot, support, quick shot, health pickup, maybe?
Yeah. Ow.
Is that enough to take?
I can't support because I'm the last one here, so...
Oh, you're right.
There's not as much damage output as we want, unfortunately. Can't really field kit, can I? That's not gonna be able to do it, huh? It's 10 health immediately, and it does increase my damage output, so that would be nice, but...
You can then, then evade through to the next round. Maybe that's...
Alright. We're trying. We're gonna try. We're gonna get back into that front row.
Like we're on the back foot.
We are definitely on the back foot right now, especially since there's a consumable heal down there, so... a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, knocking out that Berserker really did it. That really did it.
We've strung it along for quite a while without the Berserker though. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. Like, having the Berserker around could have really changed a lot of this, so... I don't know if I can quite... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can quite output enough damage for this.
Dodge. We'll take that.
That's fine. I'll take that as a hit over other stuff. That's okay. I mean, what else can I really do here? Maybe if we could survive to this double turn. Oh no! Oh man, that's so rough. Come on now.
6 damage. Come on.
I'm beginning to think we should have last one standing back in here. Oh, it did it! No.
Yeah, I mean, there's less reason. There's less reason not to.
Oh man, I just got picked apart there. Brutal, absolutely brutal. Too much damage.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing to try for next time. Leaving last one standing back on the commanders.
Yeah, I think maybe. I think maybe that would be cool, but that's a lot. Yeah, the Fire Lance. I was not expecting the 47 damage, but I mean, if you have like... We might have to relook at the damage bonuses from Inspire or whatever. Not Inspire. Shio's focus ability that protects and does gives people the consumable damage buff, because that's so much. That is a lot. It is like a lot.
It is, yeah.
So we might have to relook at that. But it was just like this perfect storm of like bonus damage from a myriad of sources that really knocked out the Berserker way quicker than I thought was possible. So yeah, the buff turn 1 is like, the damage buffs on turn one are really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the combination of like the environment damage buff plus Shio's damage buff is really crazy. Because whenever characters like finally get to do their string of combos, it gets really nuts. Damage buff is spread out if it hits multiple targets. Yeah, I mean that could definitely change the dynamic of that. Thing is, like, focus abilities need to be pretty powerful for them to be worth it. So it's always an interesting thing trying to balance that, because focus abilities are usually more worth it if they hit multiple characters, if it is like an AoE style thing. If we have this so that it is, I wouldn't say more useful if it only hits one target, but that could be interesting. Yeah, I mean that's a good. Yeah, that's definitely a way to look at it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was kind of intentional. I do agree that there is a case for having these buffs like spread out when you target multiple people. Actually,
Also,
kind of tricky to work into the system as it is right now.
Also, the 10 damage buff environment thing is a lot, I feel. It does so much, my gosh. I think it might be fine, but it's just like when it connects at the right time, it's just so much damage. Especially if you're doing like damage modifiers from other well.
Yeah, yeah,
It really catch you off guard.
Maybe there's maybe the way some of these should work is that they should stack, not that they all trigger at once, but that you use them up like one by one. Because we have various sources which are like your next strike does X amount of damage, like maybe. So that's what you get from like support stance. That's what you get from impose stance or sentinel stance. It's what you get from the pickup. It's what you get from even other things. So maybe having those, you just have a bank of them that you work through. Maybe
that could be okay. I just feel like the amount of buffs that we have, that I don't know if characters would be able to get through enough turns to capitalize on those. And I mean, I think part of the fun is like stacking all that stuff and trying to like manipulate as much like of those little buffs to make a bigger deal.
That's true, and it's not like it happens all the time, right?
This is also like our goofy commander mode thing. Like it's not. Yeah, this is not like serious time balance thing. So, I do agree that Warwick's brought up the point of like just draft mode in general like solves a lot of these problems. In terms of like completely making a character composition that is just absolutely countered by what your opponent is doing. I do like that idea of draft, and then after that you like hit and choose your commander, which is pretty cool because you can kind of like try to eke out some like backdoor strategy by switching out what they think your commander is, and then you switch it out and then something interesting could happen. That could be cool, but yeah, I think draft mode is eventually gonna have to make its way in, but
it's inevitable. Yeah, it's just we just haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah, it just takes a while to get that. So, but yeah, no, draft mode is definitely something to get in there, like sooner rather than later. Like that's just like such an impactful option for like actually having good strategy and being able to, you know, it'd be the like pre-game strategy. That's like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for today. Thank you everybody for coming out.
Wild and crazy fun.
Wild and crazy fun and wild and crazy bugs that we that we have gotten through. So thank you for helping us with that. Maybe someday we'll see Bolt as a commander, but is not today.
Not
today. Oh man, I just thought of a different thing that could make squishier characters like more like survivable commanders, and that has to do with changing their armor values, but Like
Mm.
generally,
Okay.
squishier characters not only have less health, but also usually have less armor. But the only problem with this is that it's gonna make Berserker be an absolutely unstoppable machine. Um, so that's the only problem with increasing armor on commanders. Like we
Yeah, I
thought,
guess
yeah, we thought
maybe
health
something
was
really
the
out.
thing.
Maybe something really out there is, well, what if each character had a different commander buff?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean that's like the really cool thing that like that takes a little bit of design instead of like a sweeping buff kind of thing, like
Yeah.
a one size fits all. Like it's really cool to always have like this. What I thought about a while back was like, oh, like if they are the commander, they get something that they normally wouldn't have, like either
Mm.
like some kind of unique stats or one additional ability, whether it's like a passive thing that only they do or some kind of like alternate mode ability. That would be really, but like that requires some. Not saying that will never happen, but that requires some actual work to make it interesting and fun and that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
not saying that I'm not up for it, but it takes a little it takes a little bit. So, but anyway, yeah, as I said before, I think that's gonna do it for today. Thanks for coming out, trying out these commanders, and
Yeah.
who knows what crazy stuff we'll package into the next patch. Probably nothing as crazy as commander stuff, but we might see some tweaks here and there, and maybe some kind of terrain or whatever. So, who knows? You'll see.
Cool. Okay.
All
Take
right.
care, everyone. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Later.